Hello, loved ones, loved ones, loved ones. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, how are you doing? Here I am. So I told you that we would be discussing the leaders selling us into slavery. So we just want to welcome you to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for sharing, subscribing. Yeah, giving the thumbs up, the thumbs up. Oh, definitely so. Yeah, man, no problem, no problem. So here I have one of my buddies with me. I don't think she wants to go on camera, right? I don't think she minds it, one at a time. I was supposed to have gone to her place. Oh, she has a lovely place that you'd want to visit. Wherein you can see a whole variety of fruit trees and all that in Jamaica. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So, yeah, man, here we are. Okay, she doesn't really want to go on camera, so we're gonna talk. So, darling, how you doing? All right, so you are definitely wondering what this is all about. Yeah, I need to get her out of it. Hey, yes, so you're wondering what this is all about, but I watched a video recently, and it stated that we or leaders in Africa, we're talking about kings and head of government, those persons sold us into slavery. So there was an apology that they were doing for those persons in the diaspora and so on. So the African leaders were doing it recently. Um, Here's my concern. I accept the apology. I understand and being very fair and all that. But at no time in school, I haven't seen it in any other textbooks, history books from first form coming up. I can't recall such a statement that we were sold into slavery by African leaders. I know about like this one catching that one and people, working against themselves and so on, but actual leaders,
Okay.
head of government,
No, not that I don't. We've been told about history about Christopher Columbus
right?
and all of that, the British
Right?
and all of that, but I've never heard of because
Actual,
it was said that Africans were brought in as slaves. So
right. And in some books, we learned about them fighting like Africans, gathering Africans, and because that's how they caught some of them. And we heard about people just rushing in and they just grab who they can and what have you. Why is it that there was no emphasis placed on that? Why were we not told that? Why is that not important? Because it would have been good to process it over the years, or is it that we would not have?
things wouldn't have been the same if we were known that African leaders would be part of us being a slave.
Because we wouldn't have liked Africa the way we do now, you think?
Maybe because, as he said, Africa is the motherland, as it is said for us.
I keep wondering about it. I tell you, see, when I heard it, it was this video dash lifestyle. When I heard about it first, I had to vent.
Okay.
I had so much to say at that time. It's not so much now because I had to process it because I heard the apology. I understood when I heard, but I stopped at us being sold by leaders. I actually stopped there and couldn't move from there. I'm pretty much good now, so I can talk about it and I can ask persons' opinion and so on. But the question is, why is it that
Yes.
why were we not taught? Why is that part left out like so many other things here? But why did they not see that as being important? And then, okay, parents have a particular standard for children, and we must adhere, and it's imperative that we adhere.
Yes.
But parents are doing otherwise. What are we supposed to do? Aren't we gonna be like parents?
Because
because
that's
the
how, if
children
we're
learn.
taught something, then that's
Right.
what we're gonna
Example,
do.
right? We learn by. Hi,
Learn by
dearest.
example.
We
Yes.
yeah, man. We learn by example, right?
Yes.
So, why do we fight against each other? We as black people.
Well,
You see where it's coming from?
yeah, we can't do anything about that. That's a world thing.
But look at it. It's not just, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's a
It's
world
everywhere.
thing.
It's a, yeah.
It's a world thing.
But word as
People
in,
fight. Everybody, you as humans, we fight against each other. Why?
but, but, do you know of any nation that fights as much as we do?
No.
But that's what I'm getting at. That is what I'm talking about. But now I can understand. Because if our leaders did that, that would have passed down. No wonder during slavery, no wonder some of us watched each other. So when we went under fences and so on, we had to tell Master,
Right.
what
So
did
there's
we expect to
always
get then? I suppose they got a little freedom, a little, they can go inside the house and maybe get a little piece of cheese or something.
maybe. But that's the same thing happening. You
That's
have
what is
persons
happening now,
going into
yes.
bosses to tell them things
Right.
about others.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
it's the same
Oh
thing.
my life. But no, we can understand better where it's coming from. All right, we pick up this later with some of the other ladies. It's
All
sad though. It's
right.
sad.
It's
It's sad,
pretty.
loved ones.
All
It's
right.
sad. Yeah, man. So loved ones that was sharing. You'll meet with her time to come. Right now, watch this video from Dash Lifestyle. All right, and tell me your thoughts in the comments.
We are very privileged to be with you, particularly our brothers and sisters from the Caribbeans and the diaspora. And people from all over Africa, our brothers and sisters from all over Africa. I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago.
We come in humility and brokenness to repent for the sins of the leaders in Africa, and in particular, the sin of selling our own brothers and sisters into slavery. This great sin brought untold pain and misery to millions of people of African descent, and judgment to the African people who remained on the continent.
This apology is directed specifically to people of, not people of color, black people, African people, people who have been dispersed in all parts of the world.
Would have done that. Because back then they were bribed with big things more than they, like things that they didn't have.
I can't see
So
them
more
doing
than like
it.
anything possible, anything possible. It
But
is quite possible. Because even today, look how in America, if they know something, there's a family that does something or one person in a family, they will eliminate the whole family. So nobody will know about it.
everybody disappear. Like this setup. Sometimes they can't even say certain things,
Yeah, you
but
can't say something.
can't say.
No
That is
specific
why when
country or
sometimes when they
countries
ask certain
where
questions on it, there are some things we look at it and it is controversial, and at the same time, because no matter how we think we're not being watched, their eyes out there, their eyes on us, and the algorithm can pick up certain words and what have you and the target you and
we target
all of that.
us. It is
Mm,
quite possible like that.
yes. Bye. Very possible. But so I was so shocked because they don't discuss those things in school.
They're not telling them, they're gonna tell you
Not
hard, but you have one to make four.
the what? What I got?
Hard.
But I
That
said,
mathematics is important in life, like arithmetic.
hey,
What's
but
that?
but they
Algebra,
taught history.
calculus.
They
They
taught
taught history, but which piece of history?
what they wanted
Oh,
us
look
to
at
know.
that nice
And you
person.
notice the same thing is happening now with the news. What they
Hold on,
want
look at
us.
that.
Out there. That's the water. Out there.
I'm
Let
seeing
me
you with
take
it,
you
you know.
there then. She
It's
don't
free.
I
drink.
don't drink those things, honey.
Give
Thank
it
you
to
very
me, I
much,
will
though. But
drink
I
it
don't
when I'm
drink.
done.
I don't drink beer. Water is more like it.
I'm gonna drink it and
But if you notice right now, even with the news that we're getting, it is skewed. They tell us, they give to us the information that they want us to have, and not what is actually so. You see that?
that's true. Are you recording still?
Like,
Yes.
anybody not hearing you, no, darling? Not a soul. They're not hearing.
No man.
Thanks much, guys. Seeking something more in depth. Searching for something in particular, loved ones. You and I will know when we have it, all right? No, no, I'm don't it? No problem. All right, so listen now. So I watched the movie, not a movie, Dash Lifestyle YouTube. Some clips that he put together where African leaders, because he's from Africa as well, African leaders are apologizing to the Caribbean and to other persons in the diaspora for their leaders back then, who orchestrate, who put them, sold them into slavery. And I never knew anything about that. And I find it, it's like when I saw it and it jumped out at me, oh God, man.
So you never thought that was it, like tell people that you don't know it?
No, I mean, I know that. No, no, no. I know about selling into, but talking about leaders, actual kings and right. You know about colonization and all of them something there, but
No, we
actual
colonize the
right.
organization.
But
That
actual leaders,
yeah,
yeah.
it's them there over there.
And you know that they like we fighting against each other, like
Go on. And then
Africans grab some slaves and carry them in and whatever. We know about those.
yeah,
You understand?
but
But
the Africans are
leaders,
the leaders.
government.
Are the leader then?
Oh
So now so
Jesus.
they make them big money. Then selling one another.
And all right, how is that affecting us today? When they look at how we behave with each other,
Mentally and emotionally,
psychologically,
it create a division, segregation towards one another,
imagine.
because it was what would I say now? It was encouraged in that we are in that light.
And even now, you
Understand?
find that in work, in the work environment, people running with news and
Yeah.
whatever, with the hope
We
that
segregate.
you're gonna be seen and be
As they
given
say,
certain benefits because.
that is the plans of the
Whose plan? Caucasian? Oh.
get these dark skinned people to be divided and mustn't be
Oh, divide and
united.
conquer.
Right. Because they are united.
No,
They are
still.
united. They're going to be too
Is that
powerful.
yes?
Remember,
Yes.
first world
Yes.
war
Yes.
in the whole world. Yes, Africa,
Yes.
Egypt,
Yeah.
Egypt, Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know
Because
people don't know that Egypt, Africa.
yeah,
Egypt is
I've done a
Africa.
Bible and the whole I don't
No,
understand.
not just the Bible, and it's just that in a continent Africa.
Mhm.
Egypt is one of the countries in Africa. So
Still Bible land,
Egypt
Bible
is
land.
the first world war, and we're at the seventh world war right now. And the seventh world war is two countries together. It's an Anglo World War, England and America together, right? And them rule the world, but England have the head. You understand? America just listen to what them say. America want to go on an empire.
Amen.
England have the
Hey,
say.
listen. There is this guy, and there's a gentleman on the platform, you know, and in his comment, he's asking certain questions because he's saying, "Okay, we are not independent.
They are not
America independent,
No,
as far as he's
they
concerned."
are
And I'm
not.
like, if we're not independent, who is?
No, they are
Nobody
not
is because
independent.
people have always have to report
What
to
is
somebody
independence?
else.
That is what people need to learn to know what is the definition
Because
of
I was
independence.
saying,
What is independence
independence is relative. Independence of whom? Of what?
from whosoever you say independent from? Or
Thanks, Lando. Still searching for something more in depth. I appreciate all the persons who have participated so far. Loving it. It's just that for me, I'm seeking like food for thought. It's like, when you need like certain clarification, like something is not clicking, but you don't know for certain what exactly. Yes. So still moving around, speaking to others, and want to make sure that both you, my loved ones, and myself, we're most comfortable with the information that we get. And we can go aside and figure it out, our own thoughts. And remember, tell me in the comment what you think about all this, about the video, its contents. Yes, please. Remember also to tell me where you're viewing from. So this is going to get juicier. Here we go. We do have more coming up on the leaders of Africa, the present leaders, and what they really, have to say. So more information on that. But we still want to get opinions from maybe 2 more persons or 3, and then yes, we dive into that. And we kind of close with that. If you hear tiredness in our voices, now the relative that I'm about to talk to, then don't worry about it. Just focus on the content because we're really, really, really tired. Yeah, it was actually recorded midnight or close to. So you understand. I know you do. Anything for you loved ones, anything. All right, let's go. Ken, were you aware the African leaders had sold us into slavery some time ago? They made an apology to the Caribbean and other persons, Africans in the diaspora. I don't know if you're aware of it, but did you know that back in those days in slavery, it was the leaders, the kings and so on. They were the ones who had sold the Africans into slavery. That, all right. That's not taught in school, and I can't recall ever seeing that line in the history books that I've had to deal with. So, and it is true. I saw it on YouTube where they were apologizing to the Caribbean. So, in that case, what does that mean as it relates to the way we behave? I mean, we accept the apologies and so on, yeah. And I think these people are apologizing, but yeah, understand the whole thing. And it's nice that they have done that. Because for those persons who knew, it's easier for them to just process and, kind of mend some wounds. But for those of us who are finding out for the first time, it's going to take some time to process that, because I was shocked when I heard. I was really, really shocked when I realized that they, or own, or leaders. I can understand Africans, the layman, the ordinary African person doing that to each other and so on. But when it comes from the head, that is so serious, that is so detrimental. Because then you find this is the example set for us. So it's okay for us to fight against each other. It is okay for us to sell each other at any point, anywhere, anytime. Because the head did it. They have done it time and time again, Learning this for the first time or hearing this, how do you feel about it? Yeah, what do you think, and the implications and the fact that history has a way of repeating itself, and because I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happens later on. Maybe, well, yeah.
Yes, I mean, I really feel flavor of my because it's too emotional to me. Like, in my mind, I have unusual thoughts or things that certain ways. I cannot feel it.
I remember growing up, you remember when they had
Okay, well, what is it again? Like you said, cuento. Yeah. Yeah. And they had a series of it running many years ago. And because and because I'm in tourism, I stayed away from it. I try not to watch certain things. I try not to expose myself to certain information because, I don't want it to come out in a particular way where deep down that is not what I want. So I kind of stay away from certain things. But that's a long time ago, I think. I have, matured enough to handle, I would think. But what you dwell your mind on is what you become. So you still have to be careful. You still really need to be careful of the things you expose yourself to a great extent, especially. But yes, it's emotional because I was so shocked that I couldn't even hear the apology very well. They say all I could hear is, boy, sold into slavery by leaders. My God. So that's sick. It's so disgusting. Causes even my stomach to turn. Because for many years I wondered why is it that we work against each other in so many different ways. And when you look at the Indians, yeah, they have this stuff but pretty much work together. When look at them in Jamaica, so many of them will be in the same building, living in the same building until one launches out. Chinese accommodate each other as well and work together. We? No, sir. No pretty. No pretty the Africans. And then we talk about going back to Africa. What are we talking about? Going back where? Why? So that, well, but then again, if we don't know, we don't know. So I suppose whomever came up with the idea and caused it to be handed down to us, um, I suppose they never knew this part of it. So, in all fairness, but it's sad, because we normally emulate leaders, those who are placed over us to a great extent. It's the things they do and maybe not even so much what they say, but what they do that we emulate. And oh boy, it is so, 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 so. And the thing is, we are so crazy about Africans. We love them so much, and I don't even know why exactly we keep yearning to go back there. And like I said, certain information has not been passed on to us. So, but I would love to know why is it that we yearn so much? But if there's a yearning, at what level is it though? Because look for on those communities. Look at those individuals who they segregate themselves from the rest of the country. And we're not talking about the Maroons, we're talking about another set of people. And they're steadfast. I think they're a little out of Kingston. There's a community up there. These people they worship on Saturdays. They're not Seventh Adventists. I don't know what the church is called. Oh, maybe Orthodox. Well, yeah, I don't know what the church is called. Could be Ethiopian Orthodox, possibly. But they have sent documents to the government. They have communicated with Africa. These people are deadly serious. they are here, but they are not from here. They're not a part of the island, and they're looking forward to going home.
So we're not allowed to stop them because there's no visa restriction to go to Africa.
Yes, but they are not going to do it at the expense. They're not gonna. They were brought here, and they feel like they should just be taken back. They actually said that. They actually say that in so many words.
Look,
Well, ay. I true that still. It works like how me learn this. I mean,
right? Even the rest of them want to Ethiopia. I mean,
right.
people,
No, these people I'm talking about, they're Rastafarians as well.
Yeah, them as well. And there are many. Wow.
they don't like talk,
No, but they segregate themselves, you know. They have their own. Huh?
It's easy to form, what they call it? You can form a body, they will name it. A society where there are certain things you can do within that sphere, as long as there are no laws.
Broken.
So some people would say they form what's the name?
I know, cool, because they're not taking over.
No, cool. It's a separate society from society. So I'm not even taxing on some European. Yeah,
But are the Maroons looking forward? They don't talk about going back, do
I
they?
don't know. No, we are. Welcome back to Rhode Island. Who would I want to go to Africa? I know I'm going to Africa. Yes, you know the amount of tribe they are in Africa.
Me know.
The amount of internal fight and something. They don't know, don't have a clue about.
But even people in Africa, even people down there don't seem to know what's going on because it's so many countries.
Well, I've communicated with females from Kenya,
Me know, man.
Nigeria, Ghana.
I know.
I never realized where we would think we like a paradise. Yes, they are behind in certain things, but they're more, they're not advanced in society as we are. They still stick to some old stuff.
But how bad is that though? Because
it depends.
For those that are not extreme, for those that are not in poverty and below the poverty line and so on, for that set, for those, doesn't it make them healthier?
Alright, for example, let's say maybe I itemize some other things. In their land, women should be submissive. Now just imagine them come to Jamaica or some other country and see a different thing. It's hard for them.
Adjust.
Yeah. But them still do jewelry and still do old traditional ways of doing things. And in the marriage, the women are still the mother still responsible. So the husband have a problem, the mother go address it. Yes, you can't, in a poor society, you can't even think about that. So, you say, hello, I am grown and, whatever. Yes, and so, it way behind them way there. But, and even some places like not consistent, way, say, a whole different fish. I guess if you want a slower life, I guess. A place, yes,
I suppose people just want to go there and farm and eat healthy and off the grid kind of life.
It's more a thing like that. But apart from the ethnic cleansing, which is an issue, and the religious things, uprising will take place sometimes. I guess we may have heard a lot of mission reports from there about.
Oh yes.
Or they chop up that in family and just because they have a certain belief.
Even if they were baptized and so on.
Yeah, so.
I didn't even remember that part of it. But no, Sam, you used to say that now, because about African. Hey, people serious, yeah, man. They still have the mentality of working against each other. And them something they even down there. I remember I said someone.
And I wouldn't say that the mentality of working each other is something from the devil, and it exists in every society.
True.
So him would even brand it that way.
When you compare to other nations, look at the Indians.
Yep. Well, we
And they do have their problems, the internal stuff to deal with, even when they're here. But they build together. We not do that.
We are seeing the Indian here where at times they come as a family, another ethnic group belong to a society with certain rules and regulations, and they just abide by it.
You hear when they talk about uncle and what have you and so on, they're not related, you know?
Well, yeah, you do understand that, but they do, you can see that there are certain structural rules that they go by. So
they're closely related.
We come here as a group and we should not marry anybody out of this group and all these rules.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there are a lot of businesses that crash because of people breaking the rules, like Joe. There are a lot of examples of people breaking these rules and then disband them and then put them out of the club.
Because
Chinese are the same thing. So and then there are instances when they carry Chinese down as a group to work, as they call them, but in full mind, we are glad to say they're rich and the famous ones, but now I hear the story about those who don't pay a bunk up in our bed or in our room, worry about them pack up and all these things.
Happening we're here?
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
But it's not, so most people we don't see the rich ones and then with the brand and see everything good, but them have some story I don't know.
Because you work closely with them, with all different type of nations here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that you.
I don't know. No. And if you even try, like, use a store and you get too friendly to one of them, quick time that one is being moved somewhere, but they don't want. They try to keep a certain circle or they're governed by certain rules.
Because I know one, but that's Indian, one that got married to a Jamaican. And his life is not as it would have been otherwise. And then worse in marriage. And then when they get to a certain age, there's an issue like getting married. So the fact that this one has gotten married, it didn't work. And so he's just there. Celibacy anyway. And it's like others are assisting him in kind of keeping him afloat, because Jamaicans don't really employ Indians. Indians employ Indians.
Jamaicans don't employ Indians, yeah?
And I'm saying they don't employ them. I don't know if they don't want to.
When I said Jamaican, you mean you're talking about...
Not Indian, Jamaican, like, yeah. You don't see that happening. If it does, it's in a very small...
So then we think about how many Jamaican would have within a capacity to hire an Indian.
Like maybe those owning hotels also. But they don't really work in hotels.
Jamaican own hotels, you know.
Yeah.
So the numbers not updated at all.
Mm-hmm. But they normally employ each other. Employ their own. But when there's a situation, then that one is kind of on their own out there. Yeah. But we know we don't really abide by rules like that in that kind of manner.
Yeah, we are big up by structural rule. Yeah, society rule is a problem much less regular rules.
We rebel as we go along. We just, I wonder. I wonder why though. A lot of questions I've always asked about, the way we are as a people. There are always differences with individuals, but the way we are as a people.
All different are. I mean, it's things that we don't want to know, but sometimes as I go along, you start exposed to psychology, you realize that it's not really as it always appears.
I know about the psychological aspect of it, because even though that is there, there's a lot of things that limits or governs the way how we do things and so on. So to look at it and looking at it kind of collectively and not from an individual perspective. It's easier to look at it from an individual perspective, and you can handle it that way, but then when you look from a cultural perspective now, as it relates to each nation, then you can see the similarities in this nation, the individuals in this group, and the similarities over there with those in that group. And then when you put two groups together, they are so far apart.
Whether we like it or we want to admit it, yes or no, the Western civilization has impacted our growth and our process. From a little bit of what little was on the poor peer.
Yes.
So
what you doing in my done? Yes. Because remember the long dresses, the long things that I like to wear. Where you think they're coming from? They're coming from the close on the prairie,
Yeah. Okay. There you
go. A lot of things I can, and I like to reason a particular way. I know that has to do with Chinese, Japanese. All those karate shows. Yeah. Back in those days. And then back then, well, maybe they still do that, because now you see some spooky looking stuff. I kind of not really interested. It's only like movies from way back. And even though they still have some things that you question is not like now. But when they do things then, they would normally teach you, tell you why, or what you can do, or they reason out things, and so you learn to reason as well. I love those movies for that. Even Bruce Lee does that, And they,
look at the modern things that come out of influence now. There are certain movies where they don't show, like it's in the United States, and they don't allow to show in the Caribbean for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, they have what you call a region block on some movies. No, I guess it's the mindset that they want to. Maybe they use the movies to put your mind around a certain part. So I guess,
And it is sad because they want us to think. They try to control our thoughts. So once we're thinking independently, then we become we are the next thing we know, we're on a watch list or something like that. We were singled out.
the further you stay back and look at the picture, you start to see a lot of things start coming to play. Then you realize, oh boy, we're not as special as we think.
Wow. Just slow down a bit, and observe.
Yeah, just step back from the picture and you will see more things.
So yeah, can I? Good to get your thoughts on it,
Okay, yeah. No problem.
Thanks, and then one more relative. Let's go. Thanks to Dash Lifestyle, for making all this possible. Because had it not been for his video, then I would not be discussing this. All right. Now, this was recorded in WhatsApp and then recorded to, it was a phone call that was recorded. And then it was recorded to the editor. So let's see. It might not be as clear as we would want to, but trust me, you want to hear this information. All right, so let's go. Jay.
Have you ever heard it being said that African leaders, kings, and so on, the government sold Africans into slavery?
I hope we can hear you clearly in the car.
It's actually Africans that sold the people into slavery.
Yes, but I'm talking about leaders because we know they had raids. People went in and took people, and Africans were fighting against Africans by taking them in and that kind of thing. But I'm talking about an organized thing coming from the head.
Yeah.
You knew of that?
Yeah.
Where you get that from? Did you do Caribbean perspective at school?
No, that's not in there. No, that's not. I don't think that. No. Learn that after.
But where did you learn that? Because I saw it.
First, but that information is readily available as well.
Yeah, but if you have not thought about it, you're not going to look for it, don't it? And if you've never heard of it and you have not thought about it, you're not going to research it, right?
Yeah, right.
Because what we have been taught in school up to university level.
I think that countries including Jamaica, it's Christian countries, European countries who are involved in the trade in the United States for repatriation. And one of their arguments too is that listen, it's what your people sell off your people and carry them from use them as slaves.
But somebody can say that. Persons can say that, and you're thinking it's like my community against your community, that kind of thing. Individuals doing the thing, but
unlike us in Jamaica,
yes,
in Africa they have a tribal system. We see black people as black people, and we are one.
yes,
Compared to white and so on, so to speak.
right.
But for Africans, that's not how it is.
Oh,
They have tribes. And as much as you have some black people who are against white, you have Africans who are against African, different tribes.
okay.
So tribes don't fight against tribes. That kind of a thing is foreign to us. But that's how it is in that country.
Oh, because you have so many kings and so on, chiefs.
Yeah, leaders of tribes and so on.
So it would be,
that's how it is in that place.
okay, so it would be easy then to say, raid those people down there, so, and then turn them over, make some money off them, because they're not one of us.
Right.
Okay.
I've also heard too that some of the people that who were sold were prisoners.
Yes, I can recall that information. I can recall that in history. I can understand. It makes sense. Mm-hmm.
But apparently they have gotten to the point where because you have older and younger women who are involved in it. So black people, if you pay close attention to what's happening in Africa, you know, you realize black people wicked against black people out there, you know.
Ay, ay, ay. Because I'm saying,
There's a level of wickedness that has led me to think that the flavor may have been a good thing, a blessing in disguise because those people became dominant. The world would be perhaps a more murderous place than it is now.
oh Lord have mercy. Because I watched this video recently, Dash Lifestyle, and this guy is actually from Africa, but he was showing this video on leaders apologizing to the Caribbean for what the chiefs and kings and so on did in selling Africans into slavery. No, but then I never knew of that before. I was so shocked when I saw it. Actually, I was even upset and hurt. But then again, now, talking to you, boy, that's why I feel love you so. I mean, talking to you now, it kind of gives me a different perspective. Because I was saying, no, man, them people, them just wicked so. And when they do that, what are they expecting us to do? Won't we continue fighting against each other and that kind of thing?
So in Africa, you have tribes now. We're talking about not in the 16th century, but 24th century. Going in villages with machetes and chopping up people, including women and boys, girls, and everything. Yeah, I mean,
So those people can have a better chance being sold into slavery.
in one place you have a group of convicts going in, and about 20, they raid a school and take with the girls and carry them to in the house.
Sex trade.
To be their wives.
Oh.
And yeah, but I know that a whole lot of wickedness take place down there. The people are wicked to look bad. Black people.
Oh, no wonder when we send money down there so that certain villages can benefit from it. You can't see, you don't hear anything, it's not being done. People just do what they feel like. My life. Because I have had that experience. It's sad. That's really sad.
Sad, it's misappropriation of funds.
That's a different way to look at it. I love this.
This is what I was waiting on. Now I have closure. Love it. Really, really love it. Okay, let's listen to the leaders now, the leaders of Africa and their apologies. We can now do so from a different perspective. Oh yes.
We come in humility and brokenness to repent for the sins of the leaders in Africa, and in particular, the sin of selling our own brothers and sisters into slavery. This great sin brought untold pain and misery to millions of people of African descent, and judgment to the African people who remained on the continent. The grave sin of slavery scattered our people all over the face of the earth, where they have suffered great deprivations and loss. If it were not for the part that our African kings and chiefs played in the slave trade, this evil trade could not have survived. Therefore, on behalf of all the African leaders, past and present, all of them, I acknowledge the part that we played in this tragedy, and today we ask for forgiveness. We seek forgiveness for the great pain and loss that the myopic and selfish decisions of our leaders caused our brothers and sisters of African descent around the world, and we ask their forgiveness. We plead the blood of Jesus to cleanse us all from this great sin and release us from the spiritual, mental, emotional, and economic bondage it brought. Today, we reopen the door to our brothers and sisters of African descent to return home to the continent of Africa, the land of their ancestry, and the spiritual homeland of all African people. We welcome you home with open arms as brothers and sisters, and pray that we can close the door to the dark past and work towards a better future. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray.
This apology is directed specifically to people of, not people of color, black people, African people, people who have been dispersed in all parts of the world.
Delegates from African countries extending a sincere apology for the actions of their ancestors.
Some African chiefs, in violation of their sworn duty to protect the interests of the people as well as those yet unborn, and will kidnap, sell, trade, and otherwise negotiate for the transfer of their own people to foreigners.
Asking for forgiveness from their estranged African brothers and sisters.
We are very privileged to be with you, particularly our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and the diaspora, and the people from all over Africa, our brothers and sisters from all over Africa. I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago by my ancestors during the Atlantic slave trade, where over 400 years ago, millions of our brothers and sisters were captured, sold, and transported under inhumane and cruel circumstances through Elmina Castle across to the Caribbean and to the New World. On behalf of the chiefs and people of Ghana, I do render unqualified apology, deep from the bottom of our hearts. Deep from our bottom of our hearts. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, it was not without resistance. Some of our chiefs did fought and resisted. Some of our people did fought and resisted. But we are fighting a losing battle against a stronger army. People with guns, we had no guns. They deceived us with liquor and all other temptations. Whatever the circumstances that led us to us, we stand here to render apology. And it's my wish and prayer that this apology is accepted deep by our brothers and sisters from the diaspora. May the blood of Jesus assist us to overcome that evil, that never again should we witness this cruelty, this inhuman cruelty of man to man in this country. I thank you.
You know, loved ones, there's always so much to learn. We just want to give thanks to the persons who did the original videos, and for their hard work, and thanks to Dash Lifestyle as well. And there were more leaders that had spoken. So to see the rest of the video, then you check out Dash Lifestyle, okay, on YouTube, and you will get to hear the others what they had to say. But it was all apologies though. Apologies. I'm really happy that I got a better understanding. I hope you did as well. For those of you who never knew about all this before, you know, and the information is new to you. It is sad that, you know, the present leaders or even the future ones, those in Africa, it is sad that they have to live with the burden, you know, the burden, the guilt, the shame, and all that. So, loved ones, it doesn't matter. You see, it's important that we are very conscious of the things we do. Like, it is important that at the end of the day, we psychoanalyze ourselves. I'm not a therapist. Yes, I do have a certificate in counseling, but do what you have to do. Stay close to your medical team, your psychologist and counselors. And wondering where's the song coming from? Okay. Yes, it is important that we psychoanalyze ourselves from time to time during the day, occasionally, and see what we could have done differently, you know, what we have done and all that, and take responsibility for our behaviors, because we're adults and it doesn't matter who has done what, where we got whatever from, how it came down. At the end of the day, it is either we do what we're supposed to do or we don't. You notice whenever we break the law, what happens? We have to take responsibility. It doesn't matter what the story is. Pretty much. Yeah. So, you see, we all need God in our lives. Why many persons are not interested in Him and feel like He has not done anything for them and all of that. Listen, it is important that we acknowledge His existence, His presence, and what He's doing in our lives, what He has done, and know for certain that He is going to be there for us in spite of, regardless of, you know what I mean? So we cannot dwell on the past. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't dwell on our experiences. We look at them and we see how best we can move on. We help ourselves. Now, many of us might need therapy and so on. You know, one of the things that is very, very therapeutic, if you write your information down and you tear or you burn the paper, read and burn the paper, you get it out. It comes out. So you just let it go. And that does so much for you. Try that. You have situations, painful experiences and all that. You do just that and see what that does for you as an individual. Because the important thing is to talk about it, right? Get it out. But sometimes some things you do not want to discuss with somebody else. So because of that, what you do is you pretty much, right, destroy. Hmm? It was a good discussion. We tried to engage others who could have added, you know, so much more to all this, but We have stated how, we feel about it, and we do accept the apologies. We do. We appreciate the fact that someone has acknowledged their wrong or the wrong of others. And let us move on. Going forward, putting one foot in front of the other, and the other, and the other. You know what I mean? Yes. And slowly but surely we get to where we really want to be. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. This is Grandma saying peace, and I am out of here. Be extremely careful. Bye bye. Catch you in the next video.